Hello and welcome again, everyone. My name is Sin, and today we're going to be going over what I find to be the men's most elegant, classy, and sophisticated sneaker. Enter the Buscemi 100mm. So I'll begin initially with my story behind the acquisition. I actually randomly ended up seeing these shoes for the first time. A friend had sent me a message because she knew that I was into sneakers, and it had actually attached a pair of these. And she said, what do I think? And it wasn't until later on that I ended up figuring out exactly what this was, and well, the rest, as you can see, it was history. So starting off, these have a very, very nice tumbled leather that runs throughout the entirety of the upper of the sneaker. And it's extremely nice to the touch, and you can just feel the durability behind it. These here, number one, will most certainly last an extremely long time, but then on top of that, to me, this design alone is just so classy and sophisticated. I haven't seen an execution like this on any sneaker ever, still. So while I find amazing qualities and traits within some of these other sneakers, like the off-white ones there, we have, the Fear of God ones up top here, the Yeezy Boost and the Giuseppe's, none of those I feel have the same level of just pure Italian craftsmanship that these do. Yes, I get, okay, not all of those are made in Italy, the Yeezy Boost. These here have so many details, so let's move right on in. So the first thing that sticks out at me, no pun intended, is actually this rear handle. Okay, so this, the way it protrudes from the top of the sneaker, I think just gives it such a almost futuristic feel to me. I think that is just so cool, the way that billows out. Whereas if it was just sitting like this, to me it feels kind of naked, okay? It's just the way that I see that. Whereas if we have this popping out, again, it's like, at least for me, it gives me a wow factor. Next main detail is this awesome lock, and I've heard that these are actually 18 karat gold plated. So that's pretty exciting, that they're actually using real gold to an extent on these. I mean, wow. And then we have the other metal accenting that runs across with the buckles on both sides. And then we have the front clip buckle here, which this one has a turn lock mechanism. So if we turn this, that's actually what releases both of these straps. Now, one tiny extra detail with this as well is that on the inside of each of these, it actually shows you this little, can't quite get it to focus, but it says made in Italy. And so that's just such a tiny little detail and touch that you can really only find with something that's truly crafted to this caliber. We have the Buscemi logoing that runs across the side here, and then it pops up again on the bottom of this. So sorry about the appearance of that. I have worn these several times, and as you can see, I've got a little bit of damage and scuff going on here, but again, I know that I could easily repair these and have them looking good as new, and truly, with that amount of care and maintenance, these can last a lifetime. One tiny problem that I have with these, and that is I bought these in a European 44, which is supposed to typically be a US 11, but they didn't end up fitting true to size to me. I feel these are actually a little bit on the snug side and run a little bit small. So because of that, I sometimes get, at least initially wearing it for the first hour or two, I have this feeling, like this, where it kind of digs in at the corner of my foot, which isn't great, okay, I get that. But the other two that I have by Buscemi, I purchased properly in a 45. So with that fun bit acknowledged, I will say that part of the responsibility of that lies on me, and so I can't entirely blame the sneaker itself. The last thing to touch on here is actually this cool little dangly fob thing. This is actually where the key is stored for this lock back here. So if I wanted, I could use the key to unlock this lock and then have it dangling and hanging from the front here. But personally, I think it looks much, much better having it dangling along the rear here. And so that, guys, is going to surmise this review on the Buscemi 100 mm's in white. Again, these are elegant, classy, sophisticated, and awesome. Okay, so if you guys were hesitant or looking into these and were unsure whether or not you should pull the trigger, then honestly I would have to say, if you can afford to do so, go for it, because you won't regret it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again for the next video.